Funday. Trying out something new today. And note to self, having a countdown page is pointless if I'm not starting the stream at 5 minutes till. I'm used to the other software where I just schedule it for 6 o'clock so everybody knows that's what time it starts. And then I go in and I tell it to start early. And this software didn't let me do that. They said, nope, you've scheduled it for 6 o'clock. We're starting at 6. And kind of defeats the purpose of having a countdown. So, all right. Well, hopefully everyone's had a good day. Hopefully all your fathers having a good fathers. And those of you who have fathers that are still alive, I've had a chance to wish them happy Father's Day. And so we're going to have some fun here tonight. We're doing Sunday Funday around the world. And I think I can see the comments. So if you're on Facebook or YouTube, give me a quick hello in the chat. All right. Look at this. I'm seeing comments. Thank you, Carol and Will. All right. Thank you, Will, for that confirmation that you can see and hear me. So I'm excited about that. And good evening, Carol. Playing around with letting the comments go on the screen as well. So we're going to start off. I've got several games we're going to do. So we're going to start off just jumping right into one. I don't know how long these are going to take. So that's why I kind of wanted to jump right into them and not waste too much time getting started. Hi, Miss Judy. Good to see you. So appreciate you guys saying hello in the chat, letting me know that it's working. I was getting a little worried when it kind of started late. But first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to play a game called Wordict. If any of you have ever played Wordle, I think is the name of the game that New York Times or somebody has. This is similar to that. And so the way that Wordict works, I'm going to go ahead and give you the instructions before I start it, because I think the timer is going to kick off as soon as I show it, and I'll give you the rules. You're going to have to guess 5-letter words, and you can put in 5 letters. If you put in random letters, the system's going to ignore it. So make sure it's at least a word that you're putting in. When you put in the 5 letters you're putting in to guess this 5-letter word, it'll give you, if you have a correct letter that's in the right spot, it'll give you a green block, and you'll see those blocks here in a moment. And if you have a correct letter that's in the wrong spot, it'll be yellow. And if it's an incorrect letter, it'll be in gray. I don't know how that relates to the Wordle. I've only played Wordle a time or two, so I can't remember exactly how that fits. But you'll see next to your name, you'll see kind of your result. And you can make another guess. And you can just keep guessing, and it'll tell you, how you're doing here. So I'm going to go ahead and start this, and we'll see how it goes. You let me know if it's fun or not fun. But first word is live. I mean, the word's not live, but the first word is ready to go. So you can take a guess. It's a 5-letter word. I don't give too many hints initially. I think there's 4 or 5 of these words. So I'll let you just go blind to this first word, and you have to guess what the 5-letter word is that I'm thinking or I put into the game. And as I said, once you put in your 5-letter word, you'll see your name on the screen. Hopefully you can see it. Hopefully it's not too small on that screen. And then it'll show you green block means right letter in the right spot. Yellow block means that letter is in the word, but it's not in that spot. And a gray block means that that letter is not in the word. So, all right. So just type in into the comments of whatever you're watching, YouTube or Facebook. Supposedly it works with both. That's what I'm waiting to see. I sure hope it does. Otherwise, it may not be quite as fun as I think it's going to be. So, all right. I know there's a little bit of a delay. So all right, we got Will's first guess in here. He guessed fuzzy. So, all right. And you want to put the whole word in. You want to put in 5 letters like Will did there. He put in the word fuzzy. And so, as you can tell, Will, if you don't mind, I'm going to comment on yours so everybody else, in case they're not understanding how we're playing. I don't know who's played Wordle, who hasn't. What this is telling Will is that none of those letters are in this word. So, and then Carol got her first word in. She's going sport. She has 3 letters that are in the word, but they're not in the right spot. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to analyze the rest of them. I'll let you guys just kind of play and figure out what this word is. And so they all have something to do with kind of a theme of travel. We're doing in around the world tonight. I wanted to kind of build off of this morning's message about go outside and play, get outside of our comfort zone. And I thought, kind of international travel is kind of a good symbol for that. Sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone to go see something you've wanted to see. Same way we have to get out of our comfort zone. So yeah, so when you get those words, those letters, go ahead and make your next guess. Type in another word, and you can keep playing. It's not stopped at your first word, so you can guess another word. What will happen is my understanding is the letters you have beside your name will then change again and show you your next word, how many are correct and that sort of thing. So I hope this is working okay. I'm glad to see that at least two of them have come in and hit the board there. So I'm also kind of glad I only chose 4 words because I wasn't sure how long this would take. Oh, there is a time. Let's see. No, there's not a timer on this one, is there? All right. All right. So Carol guessed. Oh, put it below it. Okay. So it'll actually show you your other one and the new one. So Carol has guessed again. And so now she has 3 letters that are in the right spot. And then 2 letters that are not in the word. So now that you know it's travel related, hopefully that'll narrow it down a little bit as well. Give people at least somewhere to start. I didn't want to start off with that. I thought it might be too easy, but this is a kind of a challenging game. Maybe more challenging than I thought it was going to be. So, all right, Will. Ooh, Will got the word. All right, Will goes with Paris. So good job there. All right, the next word's already up. So it didn't give us much time to celebrate that. Will got Paris. And Carol, unfortunately, it took your word when you were putting Paris in and made it the guess of the next word. So the second word, Carol's already guessed 2 letters that are in it. One's in the right spot, one not. So just be aware that when the round ends, it jumps right to the next one, apparently. I wasn't quite sure how that would work. I thought it was going to give like a 20-second countdown or something before it just started the next one. So Will and Carol are the only 2 going at this one. So Will has a 3-point lead at the moment. And from my understanding, there's not a limit on how many times you can guess. Ooh, Carol went straight for the guess. Good job, Carol. She got plane. In case y'all missed that, we're already on word 3 now. Carol got plane. That was word number 2. So it would happen pretty fast if people start guessing the words, because once it gets to the end of that word, it's boom, it's on to the next word. So first word was Paris. Will got that. Second word was plane. Carol got that. That was enough points, getting plane to jump her ahead of Will by about 12 points. So we're in word 3 now. So from my understanding, you can make as many guesses as you want to. I don't think there's any, like, I think Wordle, you only have like 5 turns or whatever to get it right. I don't think this game has that limitation. So you can guess a word, see what's there, and guess another word right away. Only limitation is how fast you can type on the little tiny phone keyboard. All right, Will's guessing. All right, got us 5-letter word up there, so you know 5 letters that are not in it. Christy's guessing. Party. You got one word, one letter. So Christy's giving us a letter there. Christy finally gets some points on the board. Let's see if she can chase down Carol or Will on the points going here. And from my understanding, what it does is it gives you points based on how many letters you get correct. So Christy had one letter correct, but wasn't in the right spot, so I got 1 point. I think she got a letter that was in the right spot. It had been like a few more points. So that's kind of how the points work. I can tell you, I've got the instructions here. You get 2 points for every green letter, 1 point for every yellow letter, and the goose egg for any gray letters. So it's not cloud, it's not party, it's not Paris, it's not plane. So this is kind of hard than I take it. So I'm getting some slow responses. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. It must be pretty hard. I imagine it was, because it was hard for me to come up with 5-letter words to start with. Every word I came up with, I was sitting there going, well, oh wait, that's 6 letters. Oh wait, that's only 4. So it was kind of hard to come up with 5-letter words. And like I say, the good news is when you make a guess, it doesn't penalize you. So there's no reason not to not to guess more rather than less. And Miss Judy, let me know if it's not working for you. I notice you haven't put in any guesses, and since you're the one that's on YouTube, I'm wondering if maybe it's not working from YouTube. So just let me know if it's not. All right, Carol got sport. Got 2 letters there, one in the right spot, one correct letter is not in the right spot. Earned herself 3 more points there. I know what some of you are doing. You're waiting until there's like a whole bunch of letters that are correct on other people's guesses, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna get the final answer. All right. I may have to just cancel this one then. We're not getting any closer. We got plenty of other games to get to. I don't want to waste too much time on one. So especially if it's not working, I don't know what the experience is like on your guys' end. So I don't want to take a chance on maybe it's just not working very well. Maybe you're putting in stuff and it's just not acknowledging it. Like I said, it does look to make sure it's actually like a dictionary of words. So if you just put in random letters, it tries to weed those out. All right, so Christy put in forts, and that is got 2 letters in the right and not in the right spot. So, oh wait a minute, you guys may be talking to me. I wonder why my comments weren't going up with everybody guessing. Okay, Mr. You said it is working. Just what bringing it. Okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure. So, I got one shrugging the shoulders here, maybe giving up a little bit. There's Miss Judy's comment. All right. I would try to help you, but I don't remember what the word is. it's in the settings here somewhere, and I don't remember. Did I make a list of the words? Let me see if I did. No, of course not. I just made them up as I went. All right. Well, I'm going to do a quick countdown here, and then I'm going to move us on to another game. I don't know of any way to reveal this answer. So can I go into it? Let's see. Nope. I can't see anything about it. So, all right. I must have stumped everybody with this one. You know, it's got a T, you got an S in it, and it ends in T. Oh, I know what this one is. Now that I got those 2 letters. Yeah, this was really hard. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this game, which means by default that Carol's going to be the winner because she has the most points as we wrap it up. So, all right. Christy's going with twist. All right. Oh, we got kind of close on that one, Christy. Trying to make a run for it here right before I close the game out. So I got to figure out how to close the game out, to be honest with you. So keep playing if you want to until I figure it out. Because it ends when the game ends, but since we're not there yet, now I'm not sure I do know what that word is. Wrist. Because if I'm understanding that correctly, all right. Well, I appreciate you guys playing. You can give me your feedback on that, whether you liked it or not. Maybe easier a second time. Maybe I need to go with some words that are a little more focused and less obscure. I don't know. But we'll let that be it for this game. I thought that word was going to be visit, but then when it threw me off when Christy guessed twist, and it told her that T was correct. I don't know if it's just saying it's correct because the last T is where it's supposed to be, or if I'm thinking of the wrong word. So I could be wrong, but we had Paris, we had plane, we had visit. There was another word in there somewhere, but I can't recall it. So, all right. So enough of that game. Quick question for you. You've just won all expense paid trip to one of these destinations. Which one do you choose? You get a week vacation, all expense paid, to go see the Eiffel Tower, to go see the Venice canals, to go see the Grand Canyon, or to go see Tokyo, go shopping in Tokyo. I had to find a way to fit that in 13 characters or less. So which of these are you going to take? You can do this, the laughy face, I think, for the Eiffel Tower, the heart to vote for Venice, the surprise to vote for Grand Canyon, and the like to vote for Tokyo. You got a week's vacation, all expenses paid to one of these destinations. You get to stay in Paris for the week and see the Eiffel Tower. You get to stay in Venice for a week and ride the canals and eat Italian food. You go to the Grand Canyon, hike the canyon, camp there, stay somewhere like that. Or you can go shopping in Tokyo, the big city. All right, we got one person going to Venice. Anybody else know where they want to go? And if I'm reading these comments correctly, I think that was Carol that, I don't know, that's a comment. I'm guessing that may be Carol that gave the heart. Oh, we got two hearts we got two people going to Venice. All right. I don't have a way to vote when I'm playing here, but I'm going to Venice as well. That's somewhere I've always wanted to go. All right. So I didn't get anybody going to one of the other places, huh? I'm guessing if someone didn't vote for any of them, they meant staying home. Can't drag me to any of those places. Oh, all right. Well, we're talking about around the world. You know, this morning when we talked about how we're to get out of our comfort zone, that God wants us to play outside, was the way I was making it. That he told us, you know, he told his disciples there in Matthew 28 to go into all the world and to preach and to baptize and to make disciples. And you know, that there's a big world. It's a very big world. We have a couple more games I want to do that I want us to play about that. I'm going to ask you some tourist sites that are around the world, some questions about those, and see if you can guess them. Before we do that, I want to kind of jump into a passage of scripture that's similar this morning, and it's Acts chapter 1, verses 6 to 11. And here we have Luke telling the story of Jesus, and he's talking to his disciples and a group that is gathered there, and he says, when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel? They're asking him, say, okay, Jesus, what's next? What's going to happen next? When are you coming back? When are you setting things up? When's the kingdom? Well, what's going on now? We have a lot of questions like that ourselves, don't we? Don't we often ask God, okay, is this the end times? Is this the what's going to happen in the book of Revelation? We see something on the news and go, could that be the final thing? And notice what Jesus' response is. He said to them, it's not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father has put in his own power. Hopefully that's a reminder to us when we start to get anxious and worried about world events and, oh, could this be something about the end times? We're closer to the end times than we were yesterday. That's what we know. And that's what we need to realize. And that's the urgency that Jesus wants us to live with is we don't know when it is. And we need to be sharing the gospel with an urgency that says, you know what? Today could be the last. God's not going to tell me. He's not putting me on the inside loop there to say, okay, Chuck, I'll let you know when things are about to happen next. He says, it's not for me to know. It's not the Father has given that in his own hand, his own power. Then notice what he goes on to. He says, but you shall receive power. He says, there is something I'm giving you that I want you to focus on, that I want you to pay attention to. He says, after that, the Holy Ghost has come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me. He says, I'm going to give you a power. It's not going to be the power to predict the future, to know when the end time's in, to know when the end of the world has arrived, but it's going to be a power that lives inside of you, the Holy Ghost. And it's going to allow you to tell people, to be my witness to everyone. Notice what he goes on to say, where he wants them to be a witness, both in Jerusalem and in Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the world, earth. You know, it's interesting that this passage lines up so well with the passage in Matthew that we see where he told them to go into all the world and to preach and to make disciples and all the things we saw in Matthew 28 this morning. I believe these are two different situations, because in Matthew passage, it talks about how they were in a mountain in Galilee. Galilee was about 60 miles north of Jerusalem. Here in the book of Acts, we'll see in we won't see it. Verse 12, we're stopping at verse 11. Verse 12 talks about how when they had returned from the Mount of Olives. So this is happening in the Mount of Olives, right there, right just outside of Jerusalem. And so I believe this is a different occurrence. He's already told them kind of the same information before, but these are his last words. These are the last things that Jesus says to his disciples. And that ought to let us know that these are important. He says, I want you to be witnesses for me. I want you to be spreading the word. And notice where he says he wants it to do. In Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the uttermost part of the earth. He says, I want you to do it everywhere. Now, it's interesting that he said that because Jerusalem was where they were at. He said, right here, everybody, that was the heart of Judaism. That was where the temple was. That was where, everything was happening there. That was a part of who they were as a people. He says, yeah, I want you to go tell all the other Jews. And he says, in all Judea, I want you to go to all of Israel and share this news of I've risen from the dead, and that I'm offering salvation, and that I was the Passover lamb. He says, then I also want you to go to Samaria. Now they're kind of thinking, oh, wait a minute now. The Jews and Samaritans didn't always get along. He wants to go to them. And then he says, into the uttermost part of the earth. He says, I want you to go everywhere. I was thinking about that for us in terms of our going. God doesn't give all of us the same mission. He doesn't send all of us to a faraway country to start to witness to people there. Sometimes he gives us a Jerusalem and a Judea, people that are right around us and in front of us and already living among us. And he wants us to just take it to them. He said he wants it to go to all these different places. He wants us to have that mindset that everybody is included. And if they're in front of me, I need to be letting them know about the love of God. I like how Gary D. Myers, who's with the New Orleans Theological Seminary, talked about this. He said, we can take that Judea and Samaria and uttermost part of the world, we can break it down into a lot of different ways. He said, but what if we took it as saying Jerusalem is kind of like my family. It's my people. It's the people that, my crew, my group. You ever seen the phrase people say, these are my people? That's what he's talking about. The Jerusalem, that's my people. He said, then the Judea, well, that's my neighbors. That's the people that live around me. That's people that are in the same area as me. They're probably a little bit like me too, but they're in my area. And then Samaria, well, that's my enemies. That's the people that I don't like, and the people that don't like me. And Jesus had been clear how he wants us to treat our enemies. And he's telling them, I want you to go to Samaria. I want you to go to these places where these people that you don't like very much. The Jews viewed the Samaritans as like a half-breed people. They were Jewish in heritage, but they had intermarried with non-Jews, and so they were kind of from the Jews' perspective, a half-breed race. That's why they didn't like them. It was a racial tension right there, and they didn't like the Samaritans at all. He says, I want you to go to Samaria and tell them all that I've died for their sins, that I love them, that I want them to have a relationship with me. And then Gary D. Myers says, and then the ends of the earth, well, that's everybody else. If I come across someone, if someone's in front of me, I need to tell them about Jesus. God put somebody on my heart, I need to tell them about Jesus. Whether it's on the other side of the world, or whether it's on the other side of the street, or whether it's just on the other side of the table, somebody sitting near me, he wants me to be sharing his word, his love, his desire to know them, everyone I meet. That is the challenge to us. That's what Jesus was talking about in that Matthew 28. So he's talking about here in Acts chapter 1. He wants us to go and focus on what's our responsibility. My responsibility is not to predict the end of the world and to try to do all that. My responsibility is let the Holy Spirit lead me to people. Lead me to those who need to know about him, who need him in their life. That's our assignment. That's our challenge. And it's difficult. Just like traveling around the world can be difficult. You want to go see the Eiffel Tower, it can be a little challenging, especially if you don't know French, if you travel trying to get around. You want to go to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, you have to know Italian. Now, surely you can get around with the English. Obviously, that's a fairly universal language. But it's everyone around you is not speaking that. It's kind of uncomfortable when people looking at you and talking and saying something, you have no idea what they're saying. It can be uncomfortable. But if we're going to share the gospel, sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable. If we're going to tell others about Jesus, sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable. If we're going to get other people involved in other people's lives and try to help them through what it is they're going through, the same way God has brought us through what we've gone through, sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable. But he wants us to do that for everyone, not leaving some groups out, not picking and choosing who we want to minister to, but everyone. our Jerusalem, our Judea, our Samaria, and our uttermost part of the earth. Let's go back to another game real quick. This one's called Closest Guess Wins. And I won't be on camera for this one. I'll just be talking over the game here. When I started, I think the timer's going to start. I'm going to give you a question, and you have to guess a number. I'll tell you in the question whether I'm talking about feet or miles or just a number of somethings. And so you just type in the number you want, and as a number, don't spell it out. Just if you're typing in 12, just put in 12. Closest person to the answer is going to get more points than people that are further away. As we go through the different rounds of this game, it'll keep score on who's got the closest on each one. So hopefully it'll be fun. And so we're going to go international here. And looks like I'm still coming through on audio. So this game's going to start in 30 seconds. Closest guess wins. I'll read the question as soon as it's up there, and you take a guess at it. We're gonna jump around the world here real quick. Some really well-known places, things people might want to see, might be on your bucket list. Maybe if you're going to travel the world, these are some of the things you might want to go and see or experience. All right. 5 seconds left. Remember, just type in your number when you think you know it. How many time zones are there in the world? Obviously, we're in Central Time Zone. Atlanta's in Eastern Time Zone. And other places are in a lot of other time zones. That's the easiest way for me to keep track of it. Central and Eastern are about the only ones I have to keep up with on a regular basis. I used to keep up with Pacific a lot. But how many time zones are in the world? All right, Miss Judy's guessing 4. So that's the correct way. Just just put your number in when you think you have an idea of how many time zones there are in the world. Oh, timer. I didn't realize the timer was that fast. All right. So Miss Judy's the only one that got that in the timer. All right, still tallying. Maybe some other people have guessed and it just hasn't driven in yet. The correct answer was 24. And Miss Judy, you're the only one that got an answer in, so you're the only one with points, which means you're the leader. All right, good job. Got to be fast on this one, folks. I didn't realize how quickly that went. So yes, there are actually 24 plus. Is probably the better way to put it. The world is split up into 24 different time zones, and then some people have kind of split some of those into artificial time zones, if you will. But there are 24 primary time zones. Next question: how tall is the Eiffel Tower in feet? How tall is the Eiffel Tower? So you just put in a number. If you think it's 100 feet, you just type in 100. And so how tall do you think the Eiffel Tower is? There in Paris, along the River Seine, not sure exactly how you pronounce that river. How many feet, how tall is the Eiffel Tower? And clock's ticking down. You got 5 seconds left. Oh man, it's moving so fast. I don't think the answers are getting in time. Anybody guessing on this one? Ooh, nobody got their answer in time. Okay, something. Oh, Will put in 24 on the last one, but it was after the time. I'm afraid we're getting caught by some kind of a lag here. Oh man, this is frustrating. Correct answer was, we did get some answers in. All right, correct answer. Oh no, you know what's happening here? Miss Judy, don't put the word feet in it. Just type in the number. I don't think it counted yours because of the letters that are in there. Correct answer was, wow, that's not correct answer. Correct answer is, let me see. It is 1,083 feet. Oh, I couldn't read that right. 1,083 feet. All right, now a different building. How tall is the Empire State Building? This one also in feet. And Carol, don't put the little foot thing on there either. Just pure numbers, nothing but a number. So how tall in feet is the Empire State Building? Everybody's seen that iconic building in New York. Plenty of movies made from the top of that building. All right, so Carol's guessing 100. And I can't seem to. All right, we got a couple guesses in. They're coming so fast, I can't keep track of them all, but we'll see them here. The correct answer to how tall is the Empire State Building is 1,454 feet. That's pretty tall. And I'm having trouble getting what these guesses are. 100, 500, 800 looks like, or maybe that's a 200. In any case, Will is in the lead. No. Oh, there's your answers, 800, 500, 100. So actually, score, yes, Will is in the lead with 52 points. I'm confused by this game, but I'm glad you guys are playing because it's helping me learn what this game looks like. Next question, how long is the Great Wall of China? Now, this is in miles, so if you're trying to think how far is it, that's a really long wall. So I want a number in miles. Just put the number, don't put miles, but that's the scale that I'm asking you for. I've been asking for feet on the other, so I didn't want people getting confused and trying to go with how many feet is that? How many miles long is the Great Wall of China? Got to get those answers in quick, though. I'm going to play around with this, see if I can get that timer to give us a little bit more time, because it's definitely moving quickly here. All right. Great. The correct answer to how long is the Great Wall of China is 13,171 miles. Can you believe that? That is so long. I knew it was long, but I didn't realize until I was doing this exactly how long it was. So, all right. So, Will got that one, closest on that one with 3,000. Miss Judy came in second place there. Other people didn't get their answer in before the timer went on us. So, next question. How long is the Great Barrier Reef? I'm trying to read these a little before it pops up, just to give you guys a little bit more time. I don't know how the lag is working here. But how long is the Great Barrier Reef? We're still talking miles here because it's a really long structure there. And so give me a number there for how many miles long the Great Barrier Reef is. And that being down there in the land down under. Miss Judy's guessing 1,300. Will's guessing 5,000. All right, these answers are coming in time, so maybe our lag is reduced. I'm not sure, but all right, we're getting some answers in here. The correct answer to how long is the Great Barrier Reef is 1,429 miles. So again, really long reef there. Just an amazing creation that God has put there. Extremely important in terms of what it does for the ocean and the wildlife that are there, and certainly one of those things to see. So, all right. So Miss Judy was the closest on that one, so she got the most points for that one. So see, I said a while ago in the lead, but that's actually what the showing there is the points for that question. How tall is the Leaning Tower of Pisa? So we're back to feet, and it's not measured in miles, obviously, if it's a building. But how tall is the Leaning Tower of Pisa? And they're in Italy, I believe. No, where is Pisa? Yes, Pisa's in Italy, isn't it? Someone help this geographically challenged man out. After you put in the number you think is the number of feet, Christy says 128. And time is zipping by on these. Hopefully people are getting answers in. It is challenging to get it into the time frame. I just kind of wonder if you guys aren't seeing the question until like right before it's starting to tally. Correct answer is 186 feet. It was supposed to be 195.85 feet, but the lean caused the higher side to end up only at 186 feet, and the lower side is at 183 feet. So Christy was closest one on that one. So she got 56 points. Will got 26. Now I'm kind of curious to see when we get to the end what the total is, because it's been kind of challenging to keep up with all these points as we go along. So I have no idea who's in the lead overall. So next question, though. How far in miles is the flight from Atlanta to Honolulu? Some people said they want to go to the beach. They want to see Hawaii. If you're getting a flight from here, it's probably going to go out of Atlanta. It's the easiest place to fly from. Going there to Honolulu, how many miles is that flight? Closest guess gets the most points. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm enjoying watching it, even though it's a little confusing, but I appreciate you playing along here. And the correct answer for how many miles that trip is 4,487 miles. That's about 10 hours by plane. I looked at several different airlines. Some were as low as 9 hours and 45 minutes, some as high as 10 hours and a half. But Christy got the closest with 1,300. Miss Judy came in second on that one with 900, and Will last place with 14,000. So All right, but getting points nonetheless. I have no idea how many more questions there are. Yes, I do. There is one more question. So this is the last question. I had to look at my other notes here to keep track of it. How many miles of canals are there in Venice? I mentioned Venice is one of those places I'd love to go. Apparently, two of you agree with me because that was where you chose to go with your all-expense-paid vacation. But how many miles of canals do you think there are in Venice? There are just canals everywhere. In fact, there's 150 canals in the city of Venice. So how many miles do you think there are of canals? Hopefully people got their answers in. It's starting to tally. Correct answer is 26 miles. I mentioned there's 150 of them. Birmingham, UK, Birmingham, there in England, actually has more miles of canals than Venice does. They have 35 miles, but they don't have as many miles. They just have longer as many canals. They just have longer canals when they have them. So, all right, Will was the closest with 500. Correct answer being 26. And Miss Judy was second. So I think we're now going to get the tally and see who got the most points on this one. And it'll be fun to see the leaderboard here for a chance to see who actually got the most. And in a close score here, Will took the championship with 272 points, and Miss Judy got second place with 230 points, and Christy came in with 106, and Carol came in with 44. So, all right. So, yeah, obviously making more guesses helps get to the leaderboard there. So, congratulations, Will. You win a dream vacation of your choice. When you lay down tonight, you can dream about any vacation you want to. How about that? All right. So with that said, we're going to go into one last game, and then we're going to wrap up. This is a word search game. So when you see the letters up there, I don't think it gives you the words. You just have to figure out what the words are and put them in there. I will give you some clues as far as what the topic is when we get there, because there's 3 rounds and each one has its own little topic of what the words are. But once you see a word in it, just type it in the comments, and it should give you credit for finding it and mark them off. I don't have any idea how this is going to work, but let's give it a shot and see what happens here. So word search game. First section of letters here is going to be things that you will need for this trip you're going on. Okay, we talked about Judea, Samaria, and now we're to the uttermost part of the earth. You're taking this flight to wherever. There's some things you're going to need for this trip. So be looking for words that have to do with that theme, and just type them in as you see them. Oh, that's small. I didn't realize it was going to be that small. That's a lot of letters. I thought it was going to be smaller grid. I apologize. If you can't see it very well, let me know. That definitely is good feedback for me to know whether this works or not for phone devices. I know last time I tried to do a word search, the size was an issue. But as you type it in, your word should show up on the right-hand side with you getting credit for having put that word in. Ooh, that's a tough one. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 letters across. I'm guessing it's square, so 19 letters each way. Wow. I was expecting more like 12 or 15. So, all right, we got some Will found sunglasses. Yes, you definitely need sunglasses if you're going to take that trip to Venice. That's the one that most people chose on the other one. So we're going to stick with Venice. You're going to need those sunglasses when you get there. You're going to need some tickets. That's right. You want to travel there by some sort of transportation, chances are you need a ticket, especially if it's international travel. Unless you're going to Canada or Mexico, you will need a ticket to do something other than drive. All right. Good job. You guys are finding these a lot faster than I thought. All right. Christy found wallet. Yes, you're going to make this trip. Foreign country, you want to make sure you have your wallet with you. The worst thing you can do is get somewhere far away and lose your wallet. All right, you need a map. Will found map. And I wasn't sure how to put that because most people use the map on their phone, but I didn't really want to say you need your phone because, your phone may or may not work depending on where you're going. You're going to have that international data plan or whatever. So I just went with old school there. You need a map of some sort, whether it's on your phone or whether it's a old school paper map, always a good option. Definitely makes you look more like a tourist, but hey, who cares? As long as you get where you need to go, right? Oh, somebody found one. What did I miss? Nope, that's it. Tickets, sunglasses, wallet, and map. Got a minute 48 left on this one. Boy, I'm having trouble finding some of these. I need to make better notes on paper in front of me because I forget what I typed into the game because I had to type in the words we're looking for, and then I forget what they are. So yeah, these are all about things you need for this trip, things that will make this trip enjoyable or possible. And you will need in many of these places, we're talking international travel here, a passport. Good job, Will. Will found passport. So yeah, don't want to forget that at home, especially this day and age. There's a lot of places you will not be getting in without that passport. They will turn you around and send you right back home. So again, some exceptions apply. If you're going neighboring nation, Canada or Mexico, I don't know, they might let you in with a driver's license these days. I have no idea. But for most international travel, you're going to want that passport. Let them know who you are, where you're from. They can check your name, see if it's on that watch list. All right, good job. There's only 4 left. 4 remaining. We've got 13 seconds to find them. So I think it'll show them to us at the end of this round. We'll see what we missed. So apparently I made it sufficiently difficult. It was obviously a little more challenging than I thought it was going to be. It didn't give the others. The other was visa. Obviously, you want the visa on your passport for certain countries. Luggage, camera, and you're going to need a little bit of patience if you're going to travel to some of these places because a lot of times transportation, airport, all that stuff, they're not in a hurry like we are sometimes. So, all right, next item, next round. These are, I believe, let me see it first. I think these are places you would want to go. Ooh, there's some spaces in here. I don't know why that is. So, wow. So spaces may be part of a word, maybe. I'm drawing a blank on why there are blank spaces there. Oh, they are. Okay. So, yeah, these are places you might want to go. We're talking about travel, and this is international travel, but remember, other people might view some places in the U.S. as international travel, so there is at least one, maybe more destination in the U.S. that would be my opinion, an international travel destination for people around the world would want to visit. I changed the course. I didn't put West Blockton on there, but I did put spaces in when I typed them in. I thought it would just put those words together, so there's a little bit of clue. You want to look for some of the spaces there. Might give you some words there out of those. But yes, Cairo, Egypt. We talked about that, I think, last week or the week before as one of those places we could go. I can't remember what we were doing there as far as like how far it was from West Blockton or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, Cairo is one place people might want to go. Well, these are tough, aren't they? My guess is that it, because I had some spaces for some of them, that it also put spaces in other random places just to make it difficult. So it wasn't as easy as everywhere there's a space, there's a word. That was pretty clever on the game developer's part, but pretty bad on my part to include spaces. So, all right, Nassau, good job. Well, I actually thought that was going to be one of the harder ones there. But yeah, Nassau, Bahamas, wonderful international destination. If you want sand and sun and beautiful beaches, Nassau, Bahamas might be on your list of places to see. So now I'm curious, does Will have a bigger phone than everyone else, or viewing this on a bigger device, or is he just better at finding the word search? I don't know, but you're doing a great job, Will. In either case, or maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe you have maybe you're watching it on a bigger device and have that natural word search ability. I do a lot of word searches. Word search is one of my favorite activities. I have a app on my iPad that lets me do a couple a day, and I enjoy that. I apparently stumped you guys. Well, I don't know if it's me so much as it is the size of this thing. I wish it wasn't 19 letters each direction, because that really increases the complexity of this. I do see a couple of them though. One from here in the U.S., one from Europe. Actually, two I see from Europe. Maybe I should give you some of the words and let you try to find them. There is the word London in here. There's also the word New York. And I won't give all of them because I don't want to ruin it. But we're running out of time, so I thought I'd give you some of the words, let you try to find them, since it doesn't show you what the words are. Trying to think what some of the other words were. If I could find out what they are. Also, the word Prague is on here. Oh, wait a minute, though. It doesn't do me any good to tell you the word, because it doesn't, like, all you have to do is type it in. That wasn't very bright on my part. You guys should have been typing as soon as I said it. All right, Will got the only two. I think everybody may have fallen asleep or gone to eat supper by now. I'm not sure, but we got one last puzzle here, one last round, and hope you guys are still having fun in spite of me not quite understanding what's going on here. But last one. These are the last one was cities you might want to visit. These are things you might want to see. So kind of along those same lines of, places to see. These are tourist destinations, tourist attractions. Don't know what the right word is there, but these have spaces as well, so that kind of makes them a little bit easier. One of them should jump right out to people. Actually, a couple of them I think will jump right out because of the spaces and because of the way they're lined up, the direction they're going. Obviously, the backward words are always harder than the diagonals and stuff like that are easier than the ones that are harder than the ones that just go straight across. Like, for example, Tower of Pisa. Good job, Will. Found that one right off. Fishty found the Egyptian pyramids. Yes, those are the ones I thought were kind of jumping out a little bit because of the space and because they go left to right, which makes them a little bit easier. But good job finding them. Great Wall of China. Good job, Will. That was the one I thought might happen first, just because it just reads like it is. There's no letters around it to really confuse you or hide it. But all right, good job. Those were all the ones I saw that were, no, actually there's another one, two more that are actually kind of the same direction that maybe people will find rather easily. Oh yeah, Venice Canals, we got that one. Will, of course, good job, Will. Obviously one of those things people would want to see. Eiffel Tower. Good job, Will. Will with the fast fingers too. All right. Will's knocking this one out of the park. I may just have to start calling this, instead of calling it a word search, just call it the Will game. So can you beat Will? I know of at least two more that I see, both going left to right, interestingly enough. I don't know if maybe it's not doing any diagonally in this round. Will got Easter Island. Good job. Good find. That was one I thought might be a little harder, because we don't often think about that, but definitely a tourist spot you might want to go. I guess that fits with the place as well as a tourist destination, but yeah, Easter Island with the giant heads, the ones that on the night at the museum will me some gum gum for my dum dum. And three more left. I know one of them. We got a minute left. Yeah, I won't give any words because I realize that doesn't work. All right, Taj Mahal. Who found that one? Christy, good job. All right, Taj Mahal. Two left. Two tourist destinations around the world people might want to go to. Just a few seconds left. Well, these last ones are tough. I actually put the words in there, and I'm still not remembering what they were to be able to find them. So that makes you feel any better. Probably doesn't. But you guys knocked this one out of the park, though. Good job. All right. Last words were Big Bend and Grand Canyon. So two more things people might want to see. And then we'll see what the scoreboard shows here. And I have a hunch that Will might be the winner of the top of our leaderboard here in this game. I'm no mathematician. I didn't keep track of all those points, but I think it's pretty safe to say, yes, Will won the word search game. 65 points. Christy came in with 23. And I'm guessing everybody else was looking at it going, those letters are too small. So if that's the case, I do apologize. So congratulations, Will. You win a second prize, a second dream vacation. So you can dream tonight and tomorrow night about where you want to go, and you can share it with us next week where you decided to go. But hope you guys had fun. As we think about that passage about our Jerusalem, our Judea, our Samaria, and the uttermost part of the world, let's focus this week on who's God bringing around us, who's He putting in front of us, who does He want us to share His love with this week. It took a little bit longer than I hoped. Apologize for that. Hope you enjoyed some of the games. Let me know. You don't have to be right here. You can let me know via text message or messenger or whatever, which of these games you like, which ones you didn't really like that much. And we'll see about mixing some momentum other times. But hope you had some fun. And hope as you think about travel, as you see things on TV, maybe the Eiffel Tower, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the Venice Canals, whatever it may be, you see something, you go, wait a minute, that's a reminder. I need to be telling people, whether it's around the world or around the street, I need to be sharing God's love with those around me. Hope you have a wonderful week, and we will talk again next week. And love you guys. Talk to you soon.